adjust your sets. Yes, indeed, it is that. Well, I was going to say it's that time of the week. It's a day after that time of the week. Apologies for the change in schedule. It is time for Live Irish Myths. This is episode number 342. I'm your host, Anthony Murphy, whether you like it or not. If you don't, feel free to tune out. Hope you're all in good form. Happy Tuesday to those of you watching in those time zones. If you happen to be tuning in from down under, happy Wednesday morning to you from all of us in the northern/western hemisphere. Anyway, this evening we are continuing where we left off. We're reading the wonderful Lady Gregory's Cuchulain of Muirthemne, featured in the complete Irish mythology, Gods and Fighting Men and Cuchulain of Muirthemne. We've been reading that. This is episode 9 of our reading. Hope you've been enjoying it as much as I have. And of course, it wouldn't be anything without you. So if you're watching, whether that be on YouTube or on Facebook, please do feel free to join in the conversation, especially if you're new here. Do remember to say hello. And we'll say hello back to you and give you a nice warm welcome, I hope. Well, I'll give you a warm welcome. I can't speak for the rest of them. They're a bit nutty. But you have to be nuts to watch this every week without fail. For weeks on end, for months on end, and in some cases for years on end. If you'd like to support Mythical Ireland, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/Mythical Ireland. The address for that is scrolling along the bottom of the live stream throughout on the ticker tape. If you subscribe at the Bronze Age level or above, you will have access to the regular podcasts, which are not exactly a new feature, but they've recently become a lot more regular. And I have a lot of plans in that regard, hopefully, to produce what I hope will be weekly podcasts. If you happened to have joined us on the Sligo megalithic tour on Saturday, I hope you enjoyed it. We had a lovely group. We visited Creevy, Keel, Court Cairn. We had lunch in Henry's. We went to Carramore Megalithic Cemetery. And finally, the highlight for me anyway, climbing the Brickleave Mountains. Hiking up. It's more of a hill than a mountain. But anyway, to see the Carrow Keel Cairns. Absolutely stunning landscape. And although it was raining heavily and overcast, as we arrived, within a couple of minutes of starting our hike up the hill, the rain stopped and shortly the sun came out. And if you saw some of the photographs I shared on Facebook and Instagram afterwards, you'll see that despite the wind, it was a glorious day, a glorious late afternoon with fabulous views over County Sligo into County Leitrim and over into County Mayo. It's just the most beautiful landscape. If you've been there, I know you'll agree. If you haven't, you've got to get there sometime. If you joined me on the Myths and Legends tour of Tara on Sunday, which was one of the first events in the 8-day-long Boyne Valley Trails September Walking Festival, I hope you enjoyed it also. It was a full-on 2 hours of myth, legend, history, archaeology, prehistory, and more besides. Anyway, I better say hello to some people. Good evening to all of you. First to comment tonight, with not much of a surprise, is Elaine Dent Lingenfelter, who says, hello, Anthony and all the Tua. At last, autumn has arrived, and all I can say about that is Mother Nature forgot about my part of the world. 32 Celsius. Oh, that is wrong on so many levels, yeah. A while ago, it was 15 here. It's probably a bit cooler now. So, yeah, that's as warm as it ever gets in Ireland. And that's an autumn temperature. Wow. Lily Shambles is in the house. Trenonowa. Evening. Hope all are well. And the weather hasn't been too grim for Anthony. Been cold, wet and windy here with winds the mid-50s miles per hour yesterday. Can we have the summer back, please? Well, actually, it was looking very dodgy for the Myths and Legends of Tara tour because the forecast said heavy rain and windy. And again, as I drove from Drogheda to Tara, the rain stopped, and about half an hour into the tour, the clouds started breaking up, and an hour into the tour, the sun was shining. It was brilliant. And the past couple of days, touring in the Boyne Valley with private tours. I've had a busy few days. If you were one of the small, cozy little group of people who attended my talk on Amergin Glungyal of the Milesians in Drogheda last night in the Punt Pub, well, thank you for coming along. Hope you enjoyed it. I have a recording of that, which I will make available to Mythical Ireland patrons at the Bronze Age level and above over the next day or two. Johnny Wilson, who's also in Texas, reports the same temperature as Elaine, 32 Celsius. A good afternoon to you, Johnny. Nico and Stephen are watching, saying hello, Anthony and Mythflix family from Concho, Arizona. Mouse sends tail wags to Coda and Saskia. I hope I have her name, Sakia. You're just missing one S, Saskia. And I hope I have her name right, and all the critters watching as well, yeah. At some point, I'll probably call Amadeus and see if Coda comes running. Tara Trapani is saying, hi, Tara from Vermont, USA here. Live for the first time. Brilliant stuff, Tara. Welcome. A good evening. Fáilte Roat. A big welcome to you from all of us. And what a great name. Hey, I've just been talking about the Hill of Tara. And many of you will know that one of my daughters is called Tara. So there you go. Brilliant stuff, Tara. I hope you enjoyed the live stream. Don't forget to come back. And of course, visit the website, mythicalireland.com. And while you're there, sign up for the free email newsletter. Ali is saying hello for the first time in a while. Happy to join from Tucson, Arizona. The days are still hot, but the nights are cooling down. Good stuff. That means more comfortable sleep, no doubt. Great to see you, Ali. Welcome back. Amanda June Haggerty is saying, I'm here and I'm in Cork. We did it. It has finally happened. Amanda June is now living in Ireland and is in our time zone. Brilliant stuff. You could have picked, you couldn't have, so be careful. Be very careful, Anthony. You could have picked a worse place. Cork, a fine part of the country. And lots to see down there in terms of monuments. Jack Durkin is saying, what about your photographical Ireland? What about it, Jack? Not really getting the reference. But hey, welcome to the stream. Ola Conrad is saying, hello from Denmark in time today. I'm impressed. Welcome. Barbara Murphy is saying hello to all the Tua from a nice, warm Tucson, Arizona. Is there such thing as a cold Tucson, Arizona? Yes. A lot of people who visit Ireland from the States this year are commenting on how cool and fresh it is and how bearable the weather is. So I don't know why I say that. Maybe I'm trying to make people jealous. I don't know. But Ireland has a lot going for it. Helena Breen is in the house. Hello, Anthony and all the Tua. And Helena is waving at us all. Hello, Helena, waving back. Hope you're in good form. Brian M. is saying, Fascawa Atua. Hello, Brian. Welcome back. Catherine Cleary says, greetings from San Diego, California. A small bird flew into my home and visited with me for many hours. There are a few interpretations of this in Irish mythology. I choose to believe the one suggesting a visit from a loved one who has passed away, as I've been doing spiritual work on forgiveness. Open to learning with everyone today via Anthony's reading. Brilliant stuff, Catherine. And a very good afternoon, just after midday there for you, just after 8 p.m. here for us. Anne McCallum is in the house. Hello, Antone and all the mighty Tua. Hope everyone's in great form. At the moment, it's a lovely sunny 27 Celsius in southwestern Ontario. I must say, Anthony, I thoroughly enjoyed your interview on Having a Lovely Chat with Dahi McGahan. It was absolutely brilliant, and you were definitely in your element. The number of topics you covered was amazing, and the crack was mighty indeed. Well done. Also really enjoyed podcast 23 with Terence Meaden. Ireland is the key to understanding Stonehenge. So very interesting. Glad you enjoyed all that, Anne. Terence, I had the great fortune and privilege to spend time with while he was doing some of his research at some of the Cork Stone Circles back in, I think it was 2017. And he's had some health issues, as he said. He was quite open about that. But, oh, man, he's still going strong at 90, working now on publishing his Stonehenge book. And an all-round gentleman and a scholar and a very, very interesting person with a lot of interesting things to say about ancient Ireland. And he wasn't exaggerating when he said that Ireland is the key to unlocking or deciphering Stonehenge. Lexi Erickson has joined us. Hello, Tua. Hello, Anthony, Tom, the Tua de Denver, and all others. It's 25 Celsius here. That's 75 Fahrenheit. And we've already have mountain snows. Wow. It just goes to show you what a change in altitude can do, you know? Brilliant. Marilyn Whitney says, hello, Mighty Tua and Anthony. 14 Celsius here overnight in Northampton. I just never feel right unless I report the exact current temperature. And currently it's 13 Celsius at Dublin Airport, which is about 20 minutes down the road. Wow. Rocio Marian Lopez is saying, hello, Mighty Tua. I'm so happy to you all and Mr. Anthony. And Viva Mexico. Today is Mexico's Independence Day, and I'm watching the stream with family while we eat delicious traditional food, fireworks, music, and lots of jokes. You're eating fireworks? Hang on a second. What? While we eat delicious traditional food, fireworks, music, and lots of jokes. You're eating jokes? No, never mind. I'm being funny, Rafael. Happy Independence Day to all you in Mexico. And hope the good folk in Puebla are having a wonderful celebration and a great afternoon. And hello to all the family and everyone else who's watching there in Mexico. Jack Durkin is saying, as County Meath, to let us know is Warnings County I'm from. Hi, Jack. Good evening to you. I'm very sorry I don't understand your message. But yeah, you were talking about weather warnings? I'm not sure. Alan Hoskins says, hi, Anthony. Hi, everyone. Back on Irish soil yesterday. From 30 degrees and sunny to 13 degrees and wet. Laughy face. Call me weird, but I prefer this. Good to be here. Well, I don't call you weird. I've just been saying a lot of the American folk who've been on my private tours this summer have reported that they just feel so refreshed and so cool and just nice in Ireland, not having to deal with high temperatures and high humidity. Richard Burgess says hello to everyone from the mystical, magical Catskills in New York. Hello and good afternoon to you, Richard. You're very welcome. Thank you for joining us. John Main is saying greetings from San Francisco. 17 today. What a scorcher. Tongue in cheek. Brilliant, John. Seems very Irish over there, if you ask me. I'm just over the River Tara, says Brian M. Barbara Murphy says, once again, Facebook is being weird. Can't see what I type when I reply. At least so far this week, I can reply, but no way of sending likes and laughs. Never angry emoji to individual comments. Sigh. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I can't answer for Mark Zuckerberg. Music student NI says, good afternoon, Peter here, Mike India 7, Oscar Bravo Whiskey. Hello, Peter, MI7OBW. This is EI2KC, you're 5'9" in Drogheda. 5914. Good luck in the contest. I'm joking. Peter, great to see you. I hope you enjoy the stream. One of my many ham radio friends. Who am I missing? No, we're not eating fireworks, confirms Rossio. Nor jokes, but I definitely ate some words in my sentence. I just thought that was funny. We're eating traditional Mexican food and fireworks. It's generally not a good idea to eat fireworks. That would be a hell of a show. Jacqueline Kelly Adams is joining us and saying, hi, all. Hope you're all well. From the warm and sunny Columbia Gorge. Stay safe. A very good afternoon to you, Jacqueline, from a dark, cool, windy, and soon to be raining Boyne Valley. The rain is slowly making its way this way, and it's going to do a lot of rain. But hey, I had a lovely family from Connecticut, Massachusetts on tour in the Boyne Valley today, and it was sunny. The rain held off, and it only just started to appear when we had finished. A little, bit of rain coming down. I think somebody had words with the Dagda in recent days because the weather on the tours over the last 4 days has been pretty good. Rex Q Fortenberry, that's Quinn Fortenberry, is saying howdy from Spokane, Washington. Hello, Rex. Good afternoon to you, and thank you for joining us. Lexi reports that she's not getting all the comments either. Facebook, Schmacebook. which is why a lot of people are watching on YouTube. But the only thing is you don't have the same level of interaction on YouTube. Teresa Collins is saying, hi, Anthony, and all the two. A lovely change having your company on this Tuesday evening. Yes, indeed. I would have done it yesterday, except for I was giving a talk in Drogheda, and I couldn't do two things at the same time. I'm good at multitasking. No, I'm not good at I'm not. I'm a man. We don't do multitasking very well. Let's be honest. So we are going to finish, not long left in, well, a few pages, in the story that we've been reading for a couple of episodes. A story within a story. That's the chapter called The High King of Ireland in Cuchulain of Muirthemne. And with any luck, providing you don't all fall asleep or leave the stream, we will carry on into the new chapter, which is the one called The Fate of the Children of Usnagh. So are you ready? Are you all comfortable, ensconced in your lovely comfy chairs, with feet up, with blanket over you if necessary, or air conditioning on, definitely in some cases, for the Texans, definitely, and I think Anne McCallum and a few others. Some of you will undoubtedly have a blanket wrapped around you, warm cup of tea or coffee or cocoa, or a dram of whiskey or a pint of Guinness, or whatever you have in yourself. Mine is a bottle of orange squash. With no alcohol in it whatsoever. Dronf is in the house. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Dronf. Thank you and welcome to episode 342. 3 red men I saw after that, said Inkel. And I'm pronouncing this Inkel because I think in the other version there's a fada on the E. Sorry, give me one moment. So already a sentence in and I'm going down a rabbit hole. I need to know more about this Inkel. Yeah. A marauder and prince. A famous, ferocious British, sometimes Cornish pirate in early Irish literature, distinguished by his single eye, as broad as an ox hide and as black as a beetle. And of course, we mainly meet him in Tugal Brunja da Durga, which is what we're reading. Sorry. Yeah, so I said we were reading The High King of Ireland. But that did follow on, didn't it? From, yes, indeed. You know, this, the whole story of Conor, which is, it's a retelling or a different, slightly different version of the destruction of Da Durga's hostel. Sen Holto is saying, Irish archaeologist here, now based in Bavaria, southern Germany. A very good evening to you. Is that Guten Abend? Sen Holto, Irish archaeologist, brilliant. Great. You may check some of my statements for accuracy, I'm sure. Not an archaeologist, but very intensely interested in Irish archaeology, and in particular Irish prehistory, and in particular the Neolithic. Brian M. I got Ingel. I got in my copy of the Tugal. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that there should be a fada on the E. Inkel. Inkel Kayak. Well, brilliant. And come here, it's great to see you here. You're very, very welcome. Yippee! A rabbit hole, says Barbara Murphy. No, not one sentence into the story. 3 red men I saw after that, said Inkel. Red shields above them, red spears in their hands, their 3 red horses in their bridles in front of the inn. Those are the 3 champions that did deceit and falsehood among the Sidhe, said Ferrogain. And it is the punishment was put on them by the king of Sidhe, to be 3 times destroyed by the king of Chower, and Conora is the last king through whom they will be destroyed. Yet they will not be killed, nor will they kill anyone. It is to work out their own destruction they are come. I saw after that, said Inchcail, a big man, and his hair white, and the shame of baldness on him. Body shaming, terrible. And gold earrings in his ears. Well, that's usually where earrings go, in fairness. 9 swords he had in his hand. Big hands. And 9 silver shields, and 9 golden apples. Well, they're obviously golden delicious. Never mind the commentary, Anthony. They're not laughing. They don't appreciate your stupid puns and dad humour. Just read the story. He was throwing each of them upwards, and not one would fall on the ground, but each of them rising and falling past each other like bees on a sunny day. He sounds like something of a juggler, doesn't he? But as I looked at him, he let all fall to the ground. Well, clearly you shouldn't have looked at him then. You distracted him. And the people about him cried out, and the king that was sitting there said to him, "We have been together since I was a little boy, and your tricks never failed till tonight." Doesn't sound good. Sounds like something of what we might call an omen. "My grief," he said, "fair master Conora, I have good cause for it. An unfriendly eye looked at me. There is some bad thing in front of the inn." And when the king heard that, it is what he said. There's another typo. Typo! Well, there are a number of typos. The proofreading on this wasn't all that good, in my view. I have to mark it. I'm sorry. It's just the editor in me, the proofreader, the sub-editor. I feel like Alice in Wonderland with so many rabbit holes. I think that's a compliment, Rothio, and that's exactly how I'm going to take it. I'm picturing really long metal fingernail attachments. How else would you hold 9 swords in one hand, and 9 shields, and 9 golden apples? Come for the stories, stay for the show. What a multitasker. Lord Poke. Hello, Lord Poke. Says the shame of baldness. Ha ha ha. I don't know. Yeah, was it so? Maybe I don't know, but maybe is it that he chose baldness as in he shaved his hair? I don't know. I just couldn't tell you, but it's kind of funny. Worked in the Dublin Museum in 2023. Wow. Fantastic. What an amazing museum. Dracula, the evil eye. Yes, indeed. And when the king heard that, it is what he said. "I had a dream in my sleep a while ago of the howling of my dog Ossar, of wounded men, of a wind of terror." Not that kind of wind, folks. We're not talking about flatulence here. I know, I can see some of you giggling down the back. Of keening that overcame laughter. That was Tolchine, Conora's juggler, said Ferrogain. "And tell me now," he said, "what was the appearance of the king?" "Of all the men I ever saw in the world," said Inchcail, "he is the best in shape and the most beautiful. Young he is, and wise and king-like." The king is king-like. Wow. What a surprise. Edward Scissorhands, but with swords. The colour of his hair was like the shining of purified gold. The cloak about him was like the mist of a May morning, changing from colour to colour, every colour more beautiful than another. A wheel brooch of gold reaching from his chin to his waist. Wow, that is one big mother brooch. His golden hilted sword within his reach. Well, within his reach, but with a brooch that big, it's going to be difficult to get the sword out of the scabbard. And like, who wears bling that big? You know what I mean? Is that some sort of a show off? Flatulence? It's just a lot of hot air. Ignore them. I see what you did there. Well, at least if there's flatulence. Look on the bright side. When we're live streaming, we can't smell it. So if somebody lets a ripper somewhere in the Mythflix sphere, we won't hear it. That was Conora, the High King, indeed, said Ferrogain. And it is he is the. And it is he is the. Yeah, that's the way it's written. And it is he is the greatest and the best and the comeliest of the kings of the whole world. Ferrogain has suddenly seen all the kings of the whole world. I don't think so. And there is no fault in him, either as to wisdom or bravery or knowledge or words or worthiness. And here, folks, we're getting into what we might call something of a panegyric. And some of the panegyric was basically the olive or the Phyllis, the bard's way of basically praising the king. It was a praise poem or a praise story or a praise song. Tender he is, a sleepy, simple man. Sleepy? Till he chances on some deed of courage. But when his anger is awaked, the champions of Ireland and Scotland will not win their battle so long as he is against them. And I swear by the oath my people swear by, unless drink should fail him, or the like, that man alone would hold the inn till help would gather to him from the wave of Cúchulain to the south, to the wave of Assaroe in the north. Fascinating. It is time for us to rise up, said Inchael then, and to get on to the house. So with that, the outlaws rose up and went to the inn, and the noise of their voices was heard. About it. So the outlaws rose up and went to the inn. So where did the in-laws go? The outlaws went to the inn. Did the in-laws go to the out? I'll get my coat. Be quiet now and listen, said Conora. What is that we hear? Fighting men about the house, said Conall Ciarnach. There are fighting men to meet them here, said Conora. They will be wanted tonight, said Conall. Then Launa Druth, the fool, broke in first to the house, and the doorkeepers struck off his head. And it was tossed 3 times in and out of the inn, just as he himself had foretold. Well, he must have been a fool if he foretold it and actually stepped into the house in any case. Then they all attacked one another, and Conora himself went out with his people and killed a great many of the outlaws outside. And 3 times the inn was set on fire, and 3 times it was put out again. And Conora got to his arms then, for he had not got them in the first attack. And he went out and again, and he went out and again and made a great slaughter. So that the outlaws were driven back. I keep asking, what about the in-laws? I told you, said Ferrogain, that all the men of Ireland and of Alban could not take the house till Conora's rage would be quenched. It is short his time will be, said the Druids that were along with the outlaws. The in-laws were queuing for the outhouse. A good answer, Lily. The outlaws were in the inn. The in-laws were queuing for the outhouse. I like that. And what they put on him by their enchantments was a great thirst. This is the Druids. So that he went back to the house and called for a drink. A drink to me, Macecht, he said. That is not the order you are used to give me, said Macecht. What I have to do is keep you from the men that are attacking you all round the house. Ask a drink of your steward and of your cupbearers, he said. Then Conora called to his cupbearers for a drink. There is none, they said, for every drop in the house was thrown on the fire to put it out. Well, of course. Get me a drink, Macecht, he said again, for if I am to die, it is all the same to me by what death I die. Then Macecht gave a choice to the champions of Ireland that were in the house. Would they go out and look for a drink for Conora, or would they stop in the house and defend him? What a predicament. And Conall Cearnach called out, "Leave the defence of the king to us, and you go and look for the drink, for it was of you it was asked." And he was vexed with Macecht for putting the choice to them, and there was never a very friendly feeling between them afterwards. Then Macecht went to look for a drink, and he brought Conora's great golden cup with him, and an iron spit, the cauldron spit, in his other hand. He burst out on the outlaws and attacked them with blows of the spit, so that many got their death. And then he took his shield and made a round with his sword above his head, and cut down all before him, and got through the whole band. Oh, nobody told me there was music playing. Which band was it? Was it maybe a Dire Straits tribute band? Oh, a band, as in a band of warriors. Okay, I see. Tuesday Thompson has joined us. Happy Mythology Tuesday. How apt that we should, for the second week in a row, have a slightly postponed episode. Purely not because I was busy with doing other things, not at all. We postponed it precisely so we could say Happy Mythology Tuesday to Tuesday Thompson. I swear to that orange squash is good stuff. A lot of drop of alcohol in it at all. Imagine I was to spend a whole episode reading in the style of a very drunken man. And it would be too long to tell, and it would tire the hearers, the listeners, all that happened after that. The people of the inn coming out and making attacks, and some of them getting their death, and the most part making their escape. And at last, there were none left in the inn with Conora, but Conall and Shammacha and Dovtach. Wow, what a night. Now, from the rage that was on Conora, and the greatness of the fight he had fought, a great drouth, Drouth, came on him again, and such a fever of thirst, and no drink to get, that he died of it in the end. Then the other three, when they saw the High King was dead, went out and cut their way through their enemies, and got away with their lives. But if they did, they were wounded and hurt and broken. My Danish stepfather, says Amanda June, loves to play the drunk man. His favourite thing to say is Ossifer, instead of officer. Brilliant. If it were sponsored by Jemison, yes, I can imagine that, says Tuesday Thompson. You'd start to sound like Roddy Doyle, says Rex. I like this on a Tuesday night, says Josie Weatherford. Mondays, I'm always too wrecked after work. How's everyone? Glad to be here for a live episode. Brilliant stuff, Josie. We're glad to see you. And yeah, could we make it a permanent fixture? I don't know. Never say never. But happy Tuesday to you. And Conall Cearnach, after he got away, went on to his father's house, and but half his shield left in his hand, and a few bits left of his 2 spears. And he found Amergin, his father, out before his dun in Tulchin. Those are fierce wolves that have hunted you, my son, he said he. So he's gone to Tulchin. Wow. Those are fierce wolves that have hunted you, my son, said he. It was not wolves that wounded me, but a sharp fight with fighting men, said Conall. Have you news from Da Durga's inn, said Amergin. Is your lord living? He is not living, said Conall. I swear by the gods, the great tribes of Ulster swear by. The man is a coward that came out alive, leaving his lord dead among his enemies, said Amergin. My own wounds are not white, old hero, said Conall, And with that he showed them his right arm, and it was full of wounds. That arm fought there, my son, said Amergin. That is true, said Connell. There are many in front of the inn now. It gave drinks of death to last night. Wow. Sometimes just the turn of phrase can be really fabulous. There are many in front of the inn now. It gave drinks of death to last night. He's talking about all the corpses in front of the inn. Wow. Interesting way of putting things. Now, as to Macecht, after he got away from the inn, he went on to the well of Casser that was near him in Cuchulain, but he could not find as much as the full of a cup of water in it. Then he went on through the night from lake to lake, and from river to river, but he could not find the full of the cup of water in any one of them. But at last he came to Oran Garad on my A, and it could not hide itself from him, and he filled the cup, and went back again, and reached the Durga's inn before morning. And when he got there, he saw two men, and they striking off Connor's head. And Macecht struck off the head of one of them. And then the other man was going away with the king's head, and he took up a stone and threw it at him, that it broke his back. Then Macecht stooped down and poured the water into Connor's mouth and his throat. And after that, he dragged his body with him on his back to Chower, and buried him there, as some say. And he himself went into his own country, into Connacht. And the place he stopped in was called, from his sharp grief, My Brone Gyar. My is a plain, Brone is sadness. Gyar, that means strange, isn't it? Gyar, strange, odd or strange. And there was no high king chosen to rule over Ireland for a good many years after that. And that is the end of that chapter. What? Gyar, let me have a look. Well, Mullingar and Mullingar, isn't that the strange mill? Can't find it in the Dictionary of the Irish Language. Let me look up Changlan. No, not Teams. Changlan. What did I say? Gyar. Footgear. Household gear, etc. To gear up. Oh, hang on. Yeah. Sorry. We're looking up the English. We need to look up the Irish. Josie, help me out here. G with a fada on the E is sharp. And G with and Gyar with two oars but without the fada is cut. My Brone Gyar. The plane of sharp sadness. I don't know. We just lost Mouse. She's out cold and snoring. But I bet if Coda makes an appearance, she'll be right back awake and watching. Hey, we've no Desiree, or at least we don't seem to have. So we have no Amadeus. Ah, there you are. Come on. No. Yes, that's the one. Yay. Say hello. No, don't go down immediately. Come on. Stay up. Yeah, good boy. Now, look at that. Hey, you're famous again. Hello, Mouse. Amadeus. Please spell what you are looking up, says Barbara. Well, the word as it is rendered here is Gyar. Gear. Yeah. Gear. My Brone Gyar. Yeah, because Gyar is also bitter. So Bonya Gyar is sharp and also sour milk. So the plane of bitter sadness, that does make sense, doesn't it? Yeah, I think so. God, just says Sandra. So I thought he was trying to get out because he needed to go to the toilet. Turns out he knew. It's that time of the week. Anthony's talking to the camera. I'm going to get a rub. And hey, if I have to show myself off to all of my admiring fans, I will do. Paddy Era Og is in the house. Hello, Paddy. Sláinte a fórig conasatatu. The fate of the children of Usnagh. Now it was one Phelimid, son of Dull, was harper to King Conchobar, and he had but one child, and this is the story of her birth. Cavad the Druid. Sorry, I'm already taking a margin note. One sentence into the story. Wide awake and on her pillow. She's back. You see? This is what happens, On Tra Gyar, the short strand. Interesting. So we're getting different meanings for Gyar. On Mullen Gyar, says Fergal. Fergal Canton is in the house. Translates to the left-handed mill or the rye mill in English. This Irish name refers to Mullingar, the county town of Westmeath, and its origin is tied to a miracle where the rotation of a local mill was reportedly reversed by St. Colman of Lynn in the 7th century. Somebody from Mullingar once told me that Mullingar means the strange mill, but the left-handed mill. That sounds Gyar left-handed. Okay, the rye mill. Anyway, that's a fascinating story. Fergal, hey, I didn't even know you were there. Coda. Hey, beautiful Coda. He's the star of the show. Cofad the Druid was at Phelimid's house one day. Yeah, he was. Yeah. Oh, he's nudging me now for a rub. It's like, you think you're going to sit there for the whole episode and I'm just going to rub you? You think that's the way this works? And they can't see you. He's like, yeah, that's exactly what I think. Cofad the Druid was at Phelimid's house one day. Have you got knowledge of the future? Said Phelimid. I have a little, said Cofad. What is it you are wanting to know? The winning lottery numbers, please. Surely. I'll give you the winning lottery numbers, but don't call me Shirley. I was not asking to know anything, said Phelimid, but if you know of anything that may be going to happen to me, it is well for you to tell me. So I'm not asking for anything particular, but just tell me the future, Cofad went out of the house for a while, and when he came back, he said, Had you ever any children? I never had, said Phelimid. And the wife I have had none. I never had, and the wife I had never had any. Well, you can't. So, if it's going to be anyone, it's going to be the wife who's going to have the children. Never mind. I never had, said Phelimid, and the wife I have had none. And we have no hope ever to have any. There is no one with us, but only myself and my wife. That puts wonder on me, said Cofad, for I see by druid signs that it is on account of a daughter belonging to you that more blood will be shed than ever was shed in Ireland since time and race began. At this point, I'd be saying, I totally regret asking you for any signs of the future. Please forget I said anything. I'm going back to sleep. And great heroes and bright candles of the Gael will lose their lives because of her. Is that the foretelling you have made for me? Said Phelimid. And there was anger on him, for he thought the druid was mocking him. If that is all you can say, you can keep it for yourself. It is little, I think, of your share of knowledge. For all that, said Cofad, I am certain of its truth, for I can see it all clearly in my own mind. I can see clearly now. Apparently people are calling for a Coda cam. I think viewership of this podcast, or this live stream even, would triple or quadruple in the space of a week. In the space of a single episode. People would at last have something interesting to look at and listen to. The druid went away, but he was not long gone when Phelimid's wife was found to be with child. Well, what do you know? And as her time went on, his vexation went on growing, that he had not asked more questions of Kavad. At the time he was talking to him, and he was under a smouldering care by day and by night, for it is what he was thinking, that neither his own sense and understanding or the share of friends he had would be able to save him, or to make a back against the world, or to make a back against the world. What does that mean? I don't know. That's what it says. Or to make a back against the world if this misfortune should come upon him, that would bring such great shedding of blood upon the earth. And it is the thought that came, that if this child should be born, what he had to do was put her far away, where no eye would see her and no ear hear word of her. And here we're seeing slightly similar theme to the prophecy that Balor, the leader or king of the Fomorians, would be killed by his own grandson. And so when he and his wife had a daughter, he locked her away in a tower on Tory Island. I agree with Lily Shambles. Coda Cam. He's in popular demand. The time of the delivery of Phelimid's wife came on, and it was a girl child she gave birth to. Phelimid did not allow any living person to come to the house or to see his wife, but himself alone. Sad. I don't know, Fergal. Good question. But just after the child was born, Kavad the druid came in again, and there was shame on Phelimid when he saw him. And when he remembered how he would not believe his words. Yeah, and that's what it says. No need to reread it, Anthony. It does say, and when he remembered how he would not believe his words. But the druid looked at the child, and he said, let Deirdre be her name. Harm will come through her. At this point, I'd be saying, please, creepy man, get out of my house. And no, we're not calling her Deirdre. And if you prophecy that great harm will come to men because of her, let's call her something else. But hey, this is mythology, remember. Anything can happen, and it usually does in Irish myths. She will be fair, comely, bright-haired. Heroes will fight for her, and kings go seeking for her. And then he took the child in his arms, and it is what he said. O Deirdre, on whose account many shall weep, on whose account many women shall be envious. There will be trouble on Ulster for you sake. That's what it says, for you sake. Should be your, oh, fair daughter of Phelimid. Again, at this point, I'd be saying, put the baby down, creepy old man, and please go away. Just saying. Many will be jealous of your face, O flame of beauty. For your sake, heroes shall go to exile. For your sake, deeds of anger shall be done in Awan. There is harm in your face, for it will bring banishment and death on the sons of kings. So usually what happens, when a couple has a baby, people come around, when some are home births, but usually they come home from the maternity unit in the hospital. And people come in and go, oh, she's lovely. Oh, what's her name? Oh, she's gorgeous. She's little dote. Oh, here's a little gift bag for the baby and some nappies and some formula and, blah, blah, blah. And some baby grows. No, in ancient Ulster, a creepy old druid comes in, picks up a baby, goes, yeah, you're going to be beautiful, but, all hell's going to break loose because of you. And I'm going to name you, even though what I've just said frightens the bejesus out of everyone in the room. Everyone in the room being Phelimid and his unnamed wife, I think. Am I right in saying, which would be sort of semi-typical of these things, that sometimes the woman, one of the women in the stories does not get identified by name? Apparently not. In your fate, O beautiful child, are wounds and ill doings and shedding of blood. You will have a little grave apart to yourself. You will be a tale of wonder forever, Deirdre. Again, please put the baby down, creepy man. I'm calling the cops now. Kavad went away then. Thank God for that. At the threat of the calling of the police. Yeah, well, look, I'm not rubbing you down there. Come up here. Come on. Come on. Yeah, yeah. No, that wasn't that difficult, was it? Hey, what? Yeah, it wasn't that difficult, was it? No. You like that, don't you? Oh, you do. So the rest of the episode's just going to be me rubbing Coda. Probably more entertaining for you than, Oh, he's away again. No, we're done. We're done here. No. Kavad went away then, thank goodness, and he sent Levercham, daughter of Aed, to the house. And Phelim had asked her, would she take... What has he got? A sock. And Phelim had asked her, would she take the venture of bringing up the child far away, where no eye would see her and no ear hear of her? Levercham said she would do that, and that she would do her best to keep her the way he wished. Coda likes baby talk, says Amanda June. Woof. Yeah, he's the star of the show tonight, I tell you. Mm-hmm. So Phelim had got his men and brought them away with him to a mountain, wide and waste. And there he bade them to make a little house by the side of a round green hillock, and to make a garden of apple trees behind it, with a wall about it. And he bade them put a roof of green sods over the house, the way a little company might live in it, without notice being taken of them. Then he sent Levercham and the child there, that no eye might see and no ear hear of Deirdre. He put all in good order before them, and he gave them provisions, and he told Levercham that food and all she wanted would be sent from year to year as long as she lived. And so Deirdre and her foster mother lived in the lonely place among the hills, without the knowledge or the notice of any strange person, until Deirdre was 14 years of age. And Deirdre grew straight and clean like a rush on the bog, and she was comely beyond comparison of all the women of the world. And her movements were like the swan on the wave, or the deer on the hill. She was the youngest girl of the greatest beauty and of the gentlest nature of all the women of Ireland. Levercham, that had charge of her, used to be giving Deirdre every knowledge and skill that she had herself. There was not a blade of grass growing from root, or a bird singing in the wood, or a star shining from heaven, but Deirdre had the name of it. But there was not one thing she would not have her know. Oh, yeah, okay. That's interesting, isn't it? So, in other words, at one time, well, this is myth, I know, but at one time there probably were names, Irish names, sort of like indigenous concepts for the stars and the constellations. But there was none, but there was, start again, Anthony, take two. But there was one thing she would not have her know. She would not have her have friendship with any living person of the rest of the world outside their own house. But one dark night of winter, with black clouds overhead, a hunter came walking the hills, and it is what happened. He missed the track of the hunt and lost his way and his comrades. And a heaviness came upon him, and he lay down on the side of the green hillock by Deirdre's house. Muirthemne's in the house. Hey, you've missed a couple of appearances by Coda, but hey, look, remember, you can watch this back and move the slider along until you see his lovely face appearing on the screen. Muirthemne, a very good evening to you. He was weak with hunger and going, and perished with cold, and a deep sleep came upon him. While he was lying there, a dream came to the hunter, and he thought that he was near the warmth of a house of the Sidhe, and the Sidhe inside making music. And he called out in his dream, "If there is anyone inside, let them bring me in the name of the sun and moon." Wow. Fascinating. Deirdre heard the voice, and she said to Leverham, "Mother, mother, what is that?" But Leverham said, "It is nothing that matters. It is the birds of the air gone astray and trying to find one another. But let them go back to the branches of the wood." Another troubled dream came on the hunter, and he cried out a second time. "What is that?" asked Deirdre again. "It is nothing that matters," said Leverham. "The birds of the air are looking for one another. Let them go past to the branches of the wood." Then a third dream came to the hunter, and he cried out a third time. If there was any one in the hill to let him in for the sake of the elements, for he was perished with cold and overcome with hunger. So that's an Irish turn of phrase, just in case you're not from Ireland. And I don't know if they say that elsewhere, but in Ireland we say, "Oh, I'm perished with the cold." Like, it doesn't mean I've died. You know, to say that someone has perished is usually to indicate that they've died. But in Ireland we say, "We're perished with cold," which is a sort of a gross exaggeration of the situation. "Oh, what is that?" Leverham said Deirdre. "There is nothing there for you to see, my child, but only the birds of the air, and they lost to one another. But let them go past us to the branches of the wood. There is no place or shelter for them here tonight." "Oh, mother," said Deirdre, "the bird asked to come in for the sake of the sun and moon." The sun and the moon. "And it is what you yourself told me, that anything that is asked like that, it is right for us to give it. If you will not let in the bird that is perished with cold and overcome with hunger, I myself will let it in." So Deirdre rose up and drew the bolt from the leaf on the door and let in the hunter. She put a seat in the place for sitting, food in the place for eating, and drink in the place for drinking, for the man had come into the house. For the man who had come into the house. "Gordon Farrell is in the house. Hello, Gordon. Good evening to you. Sláinte. Hope you are in good form." Excuse me. "Come now and eat food, for you are in want of it," said Deirdre. Indeed it is I was in want of food and drink and warmth when I came into this house. But by my word, I have forgotten that since I saw yourself," said the hunter. "How little you are able to curb your tongue," said Leverham. "It is not a great thing for you to keep your tongue quiet when you get the shelter of a house and the warmth of a hearth on a dark winter night." "That is so," said the hunter. "I may do that much, to keep my mouth shut. But I swear by the oath my people swear by, if some others of the people of the world saw this great beauty that is hidden away here, they would not leave her long with you." "What people are those?" said Deirdre. "I will tell you that," said the hunter. "They are Naoise, son of Usnagh, and Ainle and Ardon, his two brothers." "What is the appearance of these men, if we should ever see them?" said Deirdre. "This is the appearance that is on those three men," said the hunter. And a normal person would just say, "This is what they look like." But of course, in Ireland, we like to speak in our own peculiar kind of way. Peculiar and particular and funny. "The colour of the raven is on their hair. Their skin is like the swan on the wave. Their cheeks like the blood of the speckled red calf. And their swiftness and their leap are like the salmon of the stream, and like the deer of the grey mountain. And the head and shoulders of Naoise are above all the other men of Ireland." However they may be, said Leverhulme, get you out from here and take another road. And by my word, little is my thankfulness to yourself, or to her that let you in. You need not send him out for telling me that, said Deirdre. For as to those 3 men, I myself saw them last night in a dream, and they hunting upon a hill. And I'm sure Leverhulme at this point is going, oh my God, this is all going downhill at this moment in time. How do I recover this situation? Of course, the answer is you don't, you know. Poor Deirdre. Yes, indeed. And she only 14. Paddy on Kayak and on Morrigan is like Ma Kali and Ma Durga. One of our private conversation. Not private, but yes, I won't interfere. The hunter went away, but in a little time after, he began to think to himself how Conchobar, High King of Ulster, was used to lie down at night and to rise up on the morning by himself, without a wife or anyone to speak to. And that if he could see this great beauty, it was likely he would bring her home to Awan, and that he himself would get the goodwill of the king for telling him there was such a queen to be found on the face of the world. So he went straight to King Conchobar at Awan Macha, and he sent word in to the king that he had news for him, if he would hear it. The king sent for him to come in. What is the reason of your journey? He said. It is what I have to tell you, king, said the hunter, that I have seen the greatest beauty that ever was born in Ireland, and I am come to tell you of it. Who is this great beauty, and in what place is she to be seen, when she was never seen before you saw her? If you did see her. Ooh, he's doubting him. I did see her indeed, said the hunter, but no other man can see her unless he knows from me the place where she is living. Will you bring me to the place where she is, and will you have a good reward, said the king. I will bring you there, said the hunter. Let you stay with my household tonight, said Conchobar, and I myself and my people will go with you early on the morning of tomorrow. I will stay, said the hunter, and he stayed the night in the household of King Conchobar. Then Conchobar sent to Fergus and to the other chief men of Ulster, and he told them of what he was about to do. Though it was early when the songs and the music of the birds began in the woods, it was earlier yet when Conchobar, king of Ulster, rose up with his little company of near friends in the fresh spring morning of the fresh and pleasant month of May, and the dew was heavy on every bush and flower as they went out towards the green hill where Deirdre was living. But many a young man of them that had a light, glad, leaping step when they set out, had but a tired, slow, failing step before the end, because of the length and the roughness of the way. It is down there below, said the hunter, in the house in that valley the woman is living, but I myself will not go nearer it than this. Conchobar and his troop went down then to the green hillock where Deirdre was, and they knocked at the door of the house. Leverhulme called out that neither answer nor opening would be given to anyone at all, and that she did not want disturbance put on herself or her house. Again, such a funny way of the turn of phrase. She did not want disturbance put on herself. Whereas, we would just usually say she didn't want to be disturbed. Like we say in Irish, Tá brón orm, there is sadness on me. We don't say, I am sad. We don't say, we are it. We don't identify with the emotion. We say that it is on us. In other words, it can come off us again. Michael Pike is in the house. Wow, selling her out. I know, right? What a blabbermouth. Yes, indeed. The perfect timing, Anthony. Perfect timing, Coda. Anthony said roughness, and Coda replied rough. Yeah, yes, a bit of roughness. Yes, indeed. Conchobar and his troop went down then to the Green Hillock. Yes. What did I say? She did not want disturbance put on herself or her house. Open, said Conchobar, in the name of the High King of Ulster. It is I, King Arthur of the Britons. I'm thinking of Monty Python again. When Leverham heard Conchobar's voice, she knew there was no use trying to keep Deirdre out of sight any longer. And she rose up in haste and let in the king and as many of his people as could follow him. When the king saw Deirdre before him, he thought in himself that he never saw in the course of the day or in the dreams of the night a creature so beautiful, and he gave her his full heart's weight of love there and then. Except she hasn't spoken yet, and you don't know whether you're going to be compatible at all in a relationship. Anyway, never mind. It's a story. It is what he did. He put Deirdre up on the shoulders of his men, and she herself and Leverham were brought away to Owenmacha. And at that point, I'm calling it a night. Yeah, I know. And you're all saying, oh, no, Anthony, you can't stop now. You must keep going. That's not the way it works. It's an hour or so at a time. Picture Kafad's face when he heard that King Conchobar was off to meet the beautiful woman. I know, right? Yeah. Just, Kafad's like, I told you. And now the king. And she's going to make the king go mad. He's going to go mad for love. Hiking. Hiking. The hiking high king. The hiking high king who had to hike some hills to be a high king. I know, right? Too short tonight. Honest Truth Tuesday. I'm tired. I've been, I need to rest. I need to just de-stress, not really stressed, but just tired, No, don't stop. I can't keep reading forever. Well, I can't. Well, hey, just keep coming back. It's on every week, usually on a Monday. Okay, the last couple of weeks, because of other things, the schedule has been disrupted a little bit, but I've been working since I haven't had a day off. So I'm not complaining. And this is definitely not poor me, right? So don't think that it is. But I haven't had a day off since the weekend before last. The last time I wasn't working was Sunday, the 7th of September. So I hope that you can understand why it's just a little bit shorter, And, I've left it at a point in the story where I think, we want to know what happens next. And, that hopefully will mean you'll come back next week. There you go. Josie Weatherford says, perfect timing. Time to relax. Toga buggy. Exactly. Oh, Lena. Hello, Lena. How are you? Good evening. And hope you enjoyed Tara on Sunday. The weather was interesting. It turned out to be okay after a rainy start. Willie Ford is in the house as well. The wonderfully talented photographer, Willie Ford. If you haven't heard of him, look him up on Facebook and go and follow him because he takes absolutely breathtaking photographs. And he lives in Westmeath and takes lots and lots of photographs at the Usnagh Fire Festival every year. Nico and Stephen say, Anthony, thank you. You've given me background in stories of myth. 2 of my elder characters tell in fictional stories that I write. Okay, brilliant. You can take a 15-minute nap. We will wait. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll just turn off the camera and the microphone and just... Yeah. So hang on, just wait there and I'll be back in 15 minutes. Sorry, no. Lexi, nice try. I can't help thinking, says Alan, that I swear by the oath that my people swear by shows that he couldn't be arsed to learn the oath himself. But, this is repeated throughout the Ulster cycle. It's either I swear by the oath my people swear by, or I swear to the gods that my people swear by. So funny. Yes, indeed, Lily. Thank you. And you also, you have to come back next time. Brilliant stuff, Lena. Don't forget to tune in. The live stream is usually on Mondays. Just for the past 2 episodes, it's been on Tuesdays. I needed more, but we'll wait. There you go. Rothio has patience. There's Willie. Brilliant stuff. Willie, I haven't seen you. I haven't seen you since the Fire Festival, actually. So, but I imagine you've been a busy man. I've been a busy man too. The joys of self-employment, says Barbara. Correct. Yes. And this is the time of the year for the annual tax return. So there's that as well. Yeah. I know. And I have to find time in the next few days to record the next podcast. Yes, have a lovely, quiet, restful. I think I might be bold. I'm thinking I might have a redbreast or a Tullamore Dew, a little dram, a little, as Tom King calls them, a little nippy sweetie, which might hopefully help me sleep. Yeah. Enjoyed this, says Alan. Take care, everyone. Brilliant stuff. Thank you to all the new patrons who've been joining lately, by the way. Hope that you're enjoying, especially the podcasts, which is the kind of big thing for patrons at the Bronze Age level now and above. If you're new and you haven't already done, consider becoming a patron, but also go to the website mythicalireland.com and sign up for the free email newsletter. In the meantime, I'm leaving it there. I'm sorry. I know you want more. But hey, you got a couple of appearances by Coda as a bonus. And we'll hopefully, let me just double check my calendar before I completely close off. Yeah, I think we're okay to go back to Monday. So from Monday we'll return. So next Monday is what? The 22nd? Yes. So the next episode, all going well, will be on next Monday, the 22nd. That's 8 p.m. Irish time. That's 3 p.m. Eastern time. And that's 12 noon in California and the West Coast and, Seattle, etc., etc. Thanks for the Coda Cam today. Yeah, I'll tell him that you all loved his appearance. We love you, Just take care. Yeah, I'm grand. I am grand. But I'm just a little bit tired, and I just kind of need to I actually need to do something else. I need to do a bit of ham radio or something just to completely. I've been mythologizing and all for days and days and days on end, and there's no such thing as overdoing it really, because it's such a wonderful thing, and I'm so lucky and privileged to do what I do. But yeah, sometimes you also have to remind yourself that you're human. Mark Gordon, thank you, Mark. Not sure if I said hello to you already today. I don't think I did. So it's kind of hello and goodbye all in one, unfortunately. A little nippy sweetie. Yeah, I don't know. Is that a thing or is that just something Tom King came up with? But that's what he calls it. A little nippy sweetie. I might have just a little dram, just as part of the whole, the whole relaxing thing. Anyway, thanks all for joining. It was a pleasure. As always. And hopefully we'll see you next Monday. In the meantime, there's tons of stuff on the website. I'm sure a lot of you haven't actually seen all the episodes. There's 342 of them on the Mythical Ireland YouTube channel. So if you want more, you can go back and review some of the older ones. There's tons and tons of stuff there. And the website itself is one enormous rabbit hole into the past. So enjoy it. Anyway, thanks everybody. Good evening to you. And we'll see you next week. Stay safe, stay well, and be happy. All that remains for me to say is Ihoa Colossov, Slán go fóil, agus tó go bogé.